Hi, my name is Elimination Timothy. You're welcome to my short course on eliminating worries. Have you ever at one point or the other felt the need for you to eliminate worries? Perhaps in one category of your life, there are a lot of things that gets you so worried. No doubt about the fact that eliminating worries can be very, very challenging, most especially when it's rooted down in fear. So today I'll share some few tips that will be of help in eliminating worries irrespective of the category of life where such fears are emanating from. First, what is worry? Worry is simply a deprivation, of inner peace, of inner peace. And most times when there are worries, you realize one's mind will be subjected to anxious states. And aside that, one would have a state of mind that is lacking inner peace. And no doubt, when a state of mind is lacking inner peace, people's or by default, one's focus would as well be destabilized. One wouldn't be able to focus well. One wouldn't be able to make some reasonable progress, and one wouldn't be able to get concentrated in achieving any goal, sort of. And one thing I've come to realize over the time is worries are often a function of fear. That is, worries generally is rooted in fear. And there are two types of fear. We have the conventional fear. We have the conventional fear as well as the unconventional fear. As well as the unconventional fear. So what's the difference between conventional fear as well as unconventional fear? Conventional fear are based on real facts, while the unconventional fear are based on unreal fear. On real facts. When you talk of conventional fear or when you talk of real fear, these are fears that have real fact associated with it. Perhaps you got an information which is real, and thus you begin to get agitated or you begin to become fearful about the situation. Or let's assume on the other way around, the unconventional fear has to do with unreal fact. That is, you perceive an information and thus you begin to get fearful and subject yourself into a worrisome state. Or fears that are based on obvious facts which are not real facts. Let's take for instance, a student wrote an examination on Monday, and on Wednesday, his fellow students got to inform him that, look, your exam results are out, and I heard your lecturer speaking with one of his colleagues about the result, and they said the result is out, students can come over to check the result. But shortly before departing, he mentioned to the students, that look, 90% of the students failed the exam, that only 10% actually passed the exam. And what happens? Such students begin to get fearful, to subject his state of mind into a worrisome state of mind. And now, he got the information on Wednesday. Let's take, for instance, around 4 p.m., he couldn't rush to the department to meet his lecturer to find out his status as to whether he passed or he failed. And Thursday the next day is a public holiday. Friday the next day is a public holiday. Saturday is by default weekend. So he would have to wait till Monday before he could check the result. You could imagine the situation of things with our students. He becomes so fearful. He subjects his states of mind into a worrisome state of mind, into a worrisome state. So Wednesday evening he couldn't hit, Wednesday evening he couldn't hit, Thursday, Friday he couldn't hit. Saturday as well, he couldn't hit. His fellow students saw him within the school premises and was asking, what's happening? You look so worrisome. He said, no, there's no problem. Everything is okay. But in the real sense, is everything okay? No. His state of mind has been subjected to unconventional fear, which does result into a worrisome state of mind. And when it comes to a conventional fear, this has to do with fear that is based on real fact, as I've earlier on mentioned. Take, for instance, a couple if an husband as well as a wife who actually been sustaining themselves with the little resources they've been getting from their work, the husband works on a full time, while the wife works on a seasonal job. That is, she only works during the summer, and during the winter she doesn't work. The husband works all through the year: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So the husband actually works all through the year. And meanwhile, during June, the month of June, his boss got to inform him that, look, the company will be folding down because for quite some time they've not been able to achieve their revenue. That is, the customer, I mean, there is no market for their product at the moment. So they would need to re-strategize, and that might take a couple of years for them to get their foot on the ground. So by August, we gave them 2 months information or notification that by August, the entire department will be closing down. Thus, they would need to start looking for jobs. And meanwhile, the wife as well worked during the summer time. That is, from by August, sort of, the husband or the wife wouldn't be having a job. So perhaps the wife has been working in April, May, June, July, August, September, okay? And by September, the wife would be out of job until the next April again. So by default, the husband loses his job at this point. The wife only have 1 month to sustain, to work, and thus October, November, December, January, February, March. If nothing happens, both of them will be out of job. And surprisingly, they have 2 or 3 kids who are grown up as well, who goes to school. You can, no doubt, this will be very challenging, most especially if such couples find themselves in a country whereby there is no coaching effect from the government. And thus, immediately the husband hears the information, he becomes worried. He gets worried about such situation. Such worrisome state of mind is based on conventional fear, because he has a real fact at his disposal. That is, those real facts actually give reasons for him to be worried. So that's just the difference between a conventional fear as well as unconventional fear. And irrespective of either your worrisome state of mind is a function of conventional fear or a function of non-conventional fear, it is important to know that when there are worries, the first thing you want to do is you want to ask yourself, what category of my life is this fear emanating from, or is this worries emanating from? Take for instance the students. No doubt his worrisome state of mind is coming from his academic area of life, that is from his education. And as regards the family, the head of the house, the husband, his own fear as well is coming from his financial category of life. So it is important to ask yourself, what category of my life is this worries or is this problem emanating from, or is this fear emanating from? In case of that man, his own fear is emanating from his financial aspect, or let's say from his work aspect of life. That is the primary category. Primary category. Then you want to be able to analyze what are the subcategories, that is, what are the secondary categories. When he loses his job, what will be affected? Number one, his health will be affected. From the moment he heard that information, no doubt about the fact that he becomes so worrisome, and that would subject his health into a deteriorating state. And aside that, we have family. His family would as well be affected, and as well his finances as well will be affected, and so many other aspects of life will be affected. So it is important for you to be able to analyze in advance which categories of your life is being affected by worries. Because most times when one tends to close eye to other categories of life where it's affected in one way or the other, one wouldn't be able to see, or one wouldn't be able to correct the effect of such worries in every other category of life which is being affected. So it is important for you to analyze or to ask yourself, what category of my life is this affected? And how can I mitigate against such worries? So, first thing first, you want to categorize your worries. That is, the fears which is resulting into that worries, which aspect of life is it emanating from. And when you dwell on such fears, when you dwell on such worries, what and what would happen and what and what wouldn't happen. So it is important to categorize which areas of life such worries or such fears are emanating from. As soon as you're able to do that, you want to take the next step. You want to obtain facts. Because, as I mentioned earlier, conventional fears are based on real facts. Non-conventional fears are based on perceived facts, are based on obvious facts, or facts which are not real. And the one thing you wouldn't want to do is, you wouldn't want to shorten your lifespan as a result of unconventional fear, as a result of fears that are not real, as a result of fears that are just obvious or that are being perceived. So now you want to obtain facts. And how do you obtain facts? You obtain facts by asking yourself some fundamental questions. Take, for instance, the man who is about to lose his job. Let me call his name Mr. Ade. Mr. Ade will soon be losing his job, and his wife as well will soon be stopping the job. Then he needs to ask himself, this information that is coming from the management, is that the final decision? Is that the final decision? Go. If that's the final decision, he has to take notes of that. Will the company be giving them remunerations, or would they be giving them, should I, some package in terms of financial benefit for working in the company over a couple of times? So I call that remuneration. And aside that, who and who are in his networks, which he can actually discuss with respect to getting a new job. So he has to like look at his contact. And aside that, the person would have to like, okay, is there any idea which I can work on to generate revenue in the interim? If there are, he's going to take note of it. Okay, there's a business idea. How do I discuss this with the family? How do the entire family comes together? Myself, my wife, and the entire children. How do we brainstorm? How do we brainstorm on coming up with the next solution? Because we are having a real fact, so we want to ensure that we see how best we can solve the problem. You realize by the time this man analyzed or outlined the facts at his disposition, and as well take a second step to assume second party position. Now, assuming second party position has to do with you figuratively having someone coming to you to explain to you this challenging situation. That look, these are the information, or this is my situation. I'll be losing a job in the next 2 months, and my wife as well wouldn't be working during the upcoming winter. And as it is, there is no government cushion, there is no cushion effect from the government. So how do I go about it? I need your help. So no doubt about the fact that you would have one or two things to advise such person. So you assume second person position and jot down what and what you would advise the person to do. And as soon as you do that, you want to analyze those facts. You want to analyze, as soon as you obtain these facts, you want to analyze them one after the other. Which one will be the first step to take? How do you implement it? Like take for instance, contacting people in your network. How soon should you do that? And when it comes to remuneration from the company, how soon will such remuneration be paid? Will they pay the money as soon as you're leaving, or you'd have to wait for 2 months, or you'd have to wait for 3 months before the company pays you off? So these are questions you want to analyze, and you want to assume a judge position, and be able to make judgment with respect to real facts, obvious facts, and as well as perceived facts. As soon as you round up analyzing facts, you want to as well decide on real facts. That is, facts that you know they are real, they are not obvious, which will make conclusion after your analysis. You want to act on that. You want to decide on real facts. You want to decide on your conclusions with respect to the facts which you've been able to put together and which you've been able to brainstorm with your family in the case of Mr. Abi. And as soon as you do that, you want to take actions. You want to act on what to do. You want to determine when to do it. You as well want to determine how to do it. Let's take, for instance, you starting up a new idea. When would be the right time to do it? And what are the procedures towards getting a new company started or getting a new business started? Do you need to register a new business? Do you need not to register? Whatever it is you need to do, you have to like start working towards solutions rather than subjecting yourself, rather than Mr. Ade subjecting himself to a worrisome state of mind. And you want to determine when to do it, because sometimes knowing what to do and when to do it is another thing entirely. Like take for instance, the job will be out in the next 2 months. Will it be required to start registering the business and the idea and kickstart the idea on a lower scale before the end of the 2 months, or he would need to wait until the end of the 2 months before he could start? So those are questions which he or she wants to, those are questions Mr. Ade wants to ask himself. Then you want to determine how to go about it. That's the case with respect to Mr. Ade. Now let's consider the other guy, the student, who is having a challenging situation or who is subjecting himself to a worrisome state of mind for 5 days without having real facts, thus subjecting himself to a worrisome state based on obvious or perceived facts. One thing he would like to do is, first, you want to ask himself, is this question coming, this information, is it real? The student who gave me that information, how does he get to know about the information? Does he work in the same office with my lecturer? Are they in the same office or in the same department? How did he get to hear about that information? Did he overheard the lecturer having conversation with someone else? Or how best did he get to know about this information? You want to ask yourself, how did he get to know about, how did he got to know about the information? To know about the information. And aside that, he as well want to ask himself, what, if he still has access to that student, what precisely does the lecturer say? Did the lecturer invite you into his office and have a formal conversation with you? And he know, how did you get to know about it? And aside that, you could as well ask your fellow students, hi guys, have you gotten any information about our result? Has anyone checked the result? If they said no, then fine, you've got that area sorted out. Then you want to ask yourself, what happens if I subject myself to a worrisome state of mind? For instance, if I eventually get worried and resulted into a worrisome state of mind for the next 5 days, and only to realize that eventually I passed the exam. So you want to see how best you eliminate obvious facts and as well as perceived facts, while you keep acting on real facts. So as soon as you realize, okay, it's real that people failed the exam, but it's not 90%, or perhaps you realize the guy's information isn't based on real fact, then you will be able to take your time. Have a nice dinner on Wednesday. On Thursday as well, you take yourself out, you enjoy the sunshine, and by Friday, you have a good time as well. Then you begin to figure out what happens if, let's say, peradventure, I failed this exam. What would happen next? What would be affected? What category of my life will be affected? First, my educational aspect, that's where the problem will be emanating from. It's going to affect my financial aspect of life, perhaps additional years, sort of, in some cases. Then you want to analyze and see how best to go figuratively on a lower scale, see how best you can think through solving the problem, rather than subjecting yourself to a worrisome state of mind, which could as well affect your health in one way or the other. So basically, you can as well analyze the real facts, the facts and as well work towards real facts, more like figuratively think towards how best to go around it in the worst case scenario. But this time around, he is not going to like, okay, start preparing for another exam because he hasn't checked the result. And funny enough, the guy went ahead and checked the results on Monday and realized he has actually passed the exam. So rather than subjecting himself to a worrisome state of mind for 5 days, analyzing facts would help him in order to be able to eliminate worries and have a good time even prior to checking his result. So that's one of the best ways to go around eliminating worries generally in every area of life, irrespective of the category where such fear is emanating from. And irrespective of whether the fear is conventional fear or the fear is unconventional. I mean, the worry emanating from unconventional fear. Another thing I found so interesting in solving problems generally or in eliminating worries is seeing how best you can tabulate your worries. That is, you want to ask yourself, what is this worries all about? What is the causes of it? What is the effect of these worries? And what is the solution? As soon as you're able to do that for the first worry, then you want to do that for the second scenario, and as well the effect as well as the solution. As soon as you're able to do that, you realize you are invariably eliminating worries in any categories of your life. Most times, people, when they are in a worrisome state of mind, they really don't, when they hear some certain information, they really don't act, more like seeing how best they could solve the problem, but rather they just result into a worrisome state of mind. And in most instances, it's often detrimental in every area of life. So you want to see how best you eliminate worries in every area such worries might be coming from. And lastly, you want to take the following few steps towards eliminating worries. You want to get occupied. When there are informations or when there are either real facts or obvious facts, you want to see how best you take your mind off those worries and get occupied. And secondly, you want to plan for the next day ahead. You want to plan ahead and more like not subjecting the days into randomness, because most times when you are worried about some certain things, you wouldn't, if you don't plan ahead, you just subject the day, you will completely be subjected to a worrisome state of mind in the following days ahead. Let's take, for instance, in the case of the students who got to know about such information, you realize if he had planned the days ahead, okay, this is the information at my disposal, but if I get worried today, and I just keep thinking about this failed exam, I wouldn't be able to achieve any goal today. I wouldn't be able to achieve any goal tomorrow. I wouldn't be able to achieve any goal within the next 5 days. Okay, after analyzing the facts, separating the real fact from obvious fact, then he should be able to take a step further and ask, okay, tomorrow what do I want to do? Perhaps I want to go out and explore the city, or perhaps have a dinner out there, or have a lunch, or enjoy the sunshine. Then you want to plan ahead and like, okay, tomorrow, rather than staying here and getting myself worried unnecessarily, let me go out and do this. Or perhaps let me listen to one of my interesting music, sort of, or whatever it is. Just see how best you can get yourself plan your days ahead and get yourself occupied. Then you want to work towards solutions. It is important when there are worries and when there are causes, when there are facts associated with your worries, that is real facts, you want to see how best you keep working towards solution. In the case of Mr. Ade, who would soon be losing his job, and the wife as well would be out of a seasonal job for the next until the next 6 months. So no doubt this would actually help in solving or in eliminating worries. So as a form of summary, First, you want to analyze where your worries are coming from. You want to be able to distinguish between real facts as well as obvious facts. And aside that, you want to plan ahead, you want to get occupied, you want to act on real facts, not on obvious facts. And as well, you want to conclusively work on solutions towards eliminating worries as much as possible. So thank you so much. I hope you find this short video interesting. If you do, fine. I really appreciate. And if you have any question, please just drop the question down below, and I'll be glad to give further information as much as it's in my disposition. Thank you.